What's up, everybody? It's Kenny from Mag Chop. We're about to chop it up. I got my car guy shirt on. Let me tell you, my boy Tommy Caputo was in a horrible accident. I'm glad you're alive, brother, and out of the hospital. If you guys need a car down here in South Florida, contact the car guy, Tommy Caputo. There's the number right there. All right, welcome back to the show. I'm so excited to be here today. I'm glad you guys are with me. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you're first time here, welcome to the show. If you've been here before, welcome back. I'm glad you guys are here. Obviously, for those of you who do know, my show is pretty much about building a business and entrepreneurship. I talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? I'm always harping on the fact that this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. You're going to have some journeys that you're going to have to go on. There's a lot of stuff you're going to have to do and go through. And so I talk about all of that. My last episode, I spoke to Al Torres from Tag 305. And when you listen to what he talked about building his business, he doesn't advertise. He doesn't take out ads or anything like that. So how does he keep getting his business? It's the quality of work that he puts out there. So that's one of the things that I want to talk about today is how to get your business known and some of the steps that you need to take. First of all, it's going to take it's all about the quality of your work, whether you're providing a product or a service. It's the quality of your work and your customer service. That's always going to be number one, hands down. If your customer service is bad, it doesn't matter how good your product is. People are not going to come back. They're not. And so these are some of the things that you got to think about. And it was really great that Al Torres was really to break that down because he said it so nonchalantly. So if you haven't watched the last video, take a look back. It was really good. I had a great time. I've known Al for quite some time, obviously in the lowrider community. So, it was great. It was great to really, so it was great to just have that time with him and speak to him and everything. So when I say that it's not a marathon, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And let me tell you, when it comes to this marathon, every mile counts, every mile. And it took me a long time to understand that because I didn't come from that. I didn't come from, growing up knowing about businesses and, how they're all built and everything like that. This is all something that I've had to learn. And this is why I make these videos so that I can share my experiences with you. Okay, so one of the things that I really want to talk about first is the networking. Networking, I've talked about it in my other videos. If you'll see that, it's one of my biggest things. I'm going to harp on networking all the time because it is really the most important part. Is that networking is where you get to know people. They get to know you. They get to hear about your brand and see the person behind your brand. And they get to learn about you and what you've gone through and what you've done to be able to get to the point where you're at in front of them. So networking is always number one. That's going to produce the connections. The networking is going to produce the connections, and those connections are what's going to eventually open the door for you and for your business. Then there's building brand awareness. And I didn't really understand the concept of brand awareness. But brand awareness is really important because that's where people are going to see your brand. How are they seeing it? Where are they looking at it? Where is it at? And this is the exposure that you get. It's from the exposure that you get. And let me tell you, as an artist, the worst is when you get somebody who says, hey, listen, I got this event going on and I need an artist there to have something there. Okay, yeah, I need you to do this and this and that. All right, well, what kind of pay are you doing or what's it going to cost, whatever, right? And then, oh, well, listen, we're not paying anything, but, it's going to be great for exposure. And, the first thing you think as an artist, whether you're an artist, visual artist or a performing artist, is like, oh, I cannot pay my bills with exposure bucks. Eventually, you will be able to. So don't get so afraid about that. Don't let that be your focal point. I had that issue in the beginning. I was very set on, let's eliminate the starving artist mantra. But the only way to do that is to really work hard and just take every opportunity to get yourself into something and keep yourself relevant for brand awareness, because that's really what's going to be important when it comes to building your business and getting yourself out there. And like I said earlier, the quality of your product or your service is very, very important. You have to have that good quality. So spend the time, spend the money, and make sure that because even if you're successful and you peak right away, if your quality is not there, then your decline is going to happen fast. you know. And then you're going to have people that come into your life, and these people they're going to help you, and they're going to believe in you. Let me tell you something. As an artist, believe those people that believe in you, because we are our hardest, we are our worst critics. And so we're, as an artist, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, when you're first starting, you're critiquing yourself. You know, you're like always going to be hard on yourself. So when you have that person that says, hey man, you know, I really believe in what you're doing, I believe in who you are, and you know, your product, your service, and all that kind of stuff, make sure you believe that. What I want to do is I want to kind of go into that. I want to talk about the fact that, you know, when you have somebody who believes in you, and you being your worst critic, the importance of believing them, not yourself, not that little inner head that says, nah, you can't do that. Because I've always suffered with that little guy in my head that says, nah, man, you're not that good, you know. And so I want to break a few things down that happened to me that got me to the stage that I've gotten to, and some things that I've accomplished recently that came from those exposure bucks that I was getting, those kind of things. This has started from there. And so this is why I want to tell you that how hard you work now is going to, so you have to remember that you're looking at things at a long distance shot. Like I said, it's a marathon. So look at things in the long distance. So let me get into this. So as you guys know that I've talked about this before, I showed it downtown Fort Lauderdale. I have a 9 foot by 7 foot or some craziness mural. It's actually the mural that's behind me. It's called First Impression. I have that mural in downtown Fort Lauderdale. And when it went up, it was a restaurant that opened up. It was a new place called Double O Saloon, and now it's changed the name to Double O Chateau. The mural still stands there. It's beautiful. And let me tell you, so when it first opened up, my artwork was the decor of the place. He wanted this steampunk, cool, like hippie, like type artwork that was very different. He found my art, loved my art, brought it in. So one of the managers there, a woman named Ryan, she saw my art, she fell in love with it. She says, man, I love your artwork. I'm really into art. You know, this is something I do now, but I'm really looking to get back into the art world. I said, oh, that's great. And I mean, she and I just became really good friends. She knows my wife, the whole 9 yards. And great relationship. Well, fast forward years later, I ran into her recently. And I mean, amongst the COVID things and her changing her careers, I kind of lost track of her, you know, and every now and then, you know, I'd see her on Facebook or what have you. But what ended up happening was I ran into her, and she became the operations manager for ArtServe in Fort Lauderdale, which is like the biggest art gallery in Fort Lauderdale. They've been around for like 32 years, like the oldest gallery. Amazing gallery, beautiful place, great location on Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale. And she comes, you know, I run into her and she says, hey, it's so good to see you. And we had this great conversation. She says, yeah, we're trying to work on the uniforms now. We're trying to make something happen with, you know, to make it cool, because we're, you know, they're under new management. They have a whole new staff and everything there, right? And this guy, Jason Hughes, I think is his name. You know, this guy, he's a marketing guy, really great guy, really nice guy. He's very in touch with the community and what the community needs. And so she's telling me all this stuff, and she says, man, you know, I gotta get uniforms. I want to get cool uniforms. So let me tell you, I've talked about this in my video before. In my other videos, I always talk about, like being a yes man. I became a yes man. I was like, you know what? I got you. I can do that. She's like, you can provide that? I said, I can provide the uniforms, the artwork, and everything. Right? So I sent her some samples, and they got approved, which was freaking amazing. It was so amazing that now MagChop Art, not only did we provide the actual shirts, we provided the shirts and the artwork for the shirts and everything. We just didn't actually press them ourselves, but we might as well have. So ArtServe now carries MagChop Art, which is, if you can see that, it says ArtServe staff, which is exciting. It's got the piece called Awake in there. The front says ArtServe. So these are their uniforms now. And like, you know, it was cool because I went over to ArtServe recently and I saw one of the employees there, and there he was wearing my artwork on his back. And it was just amazing to be able to be a part of that. So let me tell you, I didn't get paid for this stuff that I did before. It was all just put there. I put it up there. It was, for me, it was a mutual thing. I would sell the artwork off the walls. I'd make money. People love the art. They get to see it. It got to, you know, brand awareness, exposure. It worked. So it was great. And so this is what happened. I was so grateful for Ryan because the fact that she, you know, went out of her way to present my artwork to the biggest art gallery and say, hey, listen, I like this artist. Let's look at what he did. This is what he created. They loved it and it worked. So as a thank you gift, I provided Ryan with one of these mugs. It says ArtServe, and this is their new logo and everything like that. So I send her the mug, and of course they see her with this mug, and they're like, "Hey, where'd she get that mug?" And so she shows them that, where she got the mug. She tells them the whole story, and guess what? They just ordered mugs, so now they're going to be selling those mugs in the ArtServe store. So if you're in Fort Lauderdale, make sure you stop by ArtServe, pick up one of those mugs. They are Mag Chop made, which is really exciting. So we went even further, and they ended up having some of the artists the in-house artists were like, "Hey, I really like the way those shirts came out. Can we get some?" So we created Mag Chop specialty ArtServe shirts that are going to be sold in their store, which is in the gallery. It's great. It's really exciting times. So if you live in the South Florida area, stop by ArtServe Fort Lauderdale. They're going to be opening up soon. Look on the website, artserve.org, to make sure that you know when their upcoming events are and everything like that. You're not going to want to miss any of this stuff. Really exciting stuff. Really exciting. So definitely check that out. And let me tell you, it all started back from putting my artwork in a restaurant that was opening. And let me tell you, it was a lot of work to get that. I mean, it was like, presenting your artwork against other artists and things like that. Let me tell you, this is what you're going to have to go through. It's all about you just being persistent, and the doors will start opening for you. So the next example that I want to give, this one's super exciting too. Everyone knows about my movie. It's called Crossing the Line, right? Well, guess what? I'm sure many of you know because I've been advertising the heck out of it. It's on Amazon Prime. So yes, you can watch my movie. You can watch me in action on Amazon Prime. And I want to talk about the opportunity of doing that and how I got that, because it's mind-blowing. Now, remember, I didn't come into this business. I didn't start my business as an actor. There was none of that. None of that was my dream. It wasn't like I was thinking, "Oh my God, I want to be this famous actor." Never in my life was that any idea. But I always talk about sometimes you're going to have to involve yourself in your business, things like that. And let me tell you, the opportunity presented itself. And I'll tell you how. I started presenting my artwork into films. I wanted to get my stuff into films because I always know that people love to buy memorabilia from movies. Well, why not be able to own something from a movie? So it was always exciting to me to be able to say, "Hey, can I put my artwork in your movie?" And as that I became a fashion designer, and I started designing women's swimwear and activewear, and I did all this kind of craziness, right? Fashion shows and everything, and I love it. And I got a new line that's coming out that we're really excited about. My daughter and I worked hard on it, and it's going to be really cool. So this is it's crazy because I went to this film festival. Now, I worked with Eric Zott from Gym Shorts, and I spoke to him, and we were in a conversation one day, and what they do through Gym Shorts, now that you can see it and I can talk about this openly, is instead of having a commercial so that you don't have to get your show interrupted, they actually play the commercial in the show. It goes right across, right smoothly. And so we were talking, and he was like, "Yeah, I just need a product. I want to create a product so that we can show them how we would present it, for the pilots." They're on season 2 now. And so I was like, "Man," I said, "It's a gym show. I make activewear. Why don't we collab on this?" And he's like, "Man, that's great." And he wrote the script that ended up being hilarious. It was so much fun. Working with him was fun. But if you look up Gym Shorts series, I'm telling you right now, it's hilarious. And you get to see Mag Chop in it. Now, it played at this film festival that I went to. And not only did it play, there was a show by Jerome Anthony Larkin. It was a full feature film called The Blonde Hair Murders. And what ended up happening was he needed a place to record. And I told him, "Hey, listen, if you want, you can use my house." So he shot a couple scenes in my house, and he actually wrote me into the scene. So, I did this little scene. It was fun. It was cool. It was really a blast. And that was really cool. So there I was in that, and this all playing at the same film festival. Then I worked with Concord Films on a film called Marriage Killer, which is Concord Films. This is Barbie Castro's crew. These people are part of that. If you look on Lifetime Original Movies, you have Patient Killer and Boyfriend Killer. Well, this one's Marriage Killer is part of that whole series. And I ended up going on there as an extra, but I brought a piece of art with me. I ended up meeting the director. I showed him the artwork, and it got in the film. So me and the artwork is in the film. The trailer for that played at this particular film festival, which was really cool. So here I was sitting there, and it's like, "Hey, look, I'm all over the place." So I walk out of there, and I meet the director named Hussein Ahmed. And he says, "Man, I see you involved in a lot over here, blah, blah." And he's like, "I definitely want to use you for a film one day." So I was like, "Oh man, that'd be cool. I'm down to do whatever. I want to put my artwork in it though." He's like, yeah, we'll talk. And he's not a man of many words. He's a very simple guy, real nice guy, quiet, and He calls me up because I got cast as an extra with lines. And he calls me up before the table reading. And he says, "Hey man, did you get cast already? Do you know your part?" And I say, "Yeah, I'm the cop or something, the nurse or whatever that gives over the rape victim or whatever." And he says, "No. You're my main character." And this is why I'm going to tell you that it's very important that if someone believes in you, that you believe in you. Listen to them, trust them. Because my answer was, in doubting myself right away, was, "Hey man, listen, I don't want to mess up your movie. I really don't." I said, "I'm not like a trained actor or anything like that. I didn't go to school for this. You know, the stuff that I've done for fun, and I enjoy it. I like, basically playing pretend and everything, but I don't want to be the guy that screws up your movie. You seem like I've seen your work, and because I have seen his work, and I was like, man, I don't want to be that guy. They'd be like, 'Oh man, the movie was good, but that guy sucked,' And he starts laughing. He says, 'Man, it's so funny. Everybody's telling me how perfect they'd be for this part, and you're the one who I want, and you're the one telling me you don't think you can do it.' He says, 'I know you can do it because I've seen your talent in different ways. You present yourself in different ways, and I know you can pull this off.' Okay, I agree. We make the announcement, boom, flies me out to California. We're shooting in California and Vegas. I mean, it was wild. It was a great time. We shot here in South Florida, and what a wild experience it was being a part of that film. And so now the movie is actually on Amazon Prime, and you can watch it, which is super exciting. And so there was little things that I tried to do because I'm always trying to get my products in. So of course, guess what got in the movie? This beautiful mug right here. This is the Real Passion mug. And of course, all my videos are brought by the 15-ounce collection, the Mag Chop 15-ounce collection. You're definitely going to want to get one of these mugs, especially now because it's movie famous. This bad boy's on Amazon Prime. So go to magchop.com, get yourself one. And trust me when I tell you that even the things that you're doing for these exposure bucks, don't worry about it. Do it. Do it. Have fun and enjoy every step of this ride. Enjoy every mile. Work every mile. Give your best. And don't doubt yourself, because when you got people like Ryan, who she believed in my artwork when she saw it on the walls in a restaurant in downtown Fort Lauderdale, to the point where now it's adorning the uniform of the biggest art gallery in Fort Lauderdale. And to Hussein Ahmed, who saw something in me and said, this guy can be a main actor for a movie. And not only did he make me the main actor of a movie, he put me on Amazon Prime, which has really been an amazing experience in itself. I can't even tell you. So, believe in yourself. Trust the people that tell you that they believe in you, because I'm telling you now, your potential is unbelievable. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And my next show will be coming up soon. Thank you guys for watching.